here's your double top going back, or your high pivot going back to March of 2020, right? So let's just say this is a 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, small check back, breakout. You see that? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how 4 is just a small check back. That's very common. The fourth is 50-50. So
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Gareth Soloway explains Bitcoin's potential recovery to $95,000, exploring market trends, investor sentiment, and key catalysts driving this rally. Let's watch him break down the analysis for deeper insights.
we can see that Tesla had this big fall. And remember, I was telling you guys, literally, I was like, guys, this is a huge level on Tesla. You got to buy Tesla. We bought it in the smart money stocks and ETFs. And then look, literally bounced. If we do our measurement tool here, you can see that again, from this low to this high, 27% bounce in a matter of what, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? I mean, that's incredible. Now, it is retracing, and if we look at the pre-market, it is under pressure. So again, Tesla continues to be under pressure. You might say, well, would you rebuy here? No, I don't like second or third hits afterwards. Why? Because we know the methodology. Once you get more hits, this line weakens, and the probability starts to grow of a breakdown. Now, listen, it's only hit once, twice, so you might get another bounce here. But for me, I start turning my attention to a lower level. Bring this trend line down. There's a gap filled just below at around 213. That one hasn't been hit yet, and I would be intrigued if we flush straight down here into this 213 level. Microsoft is coming in. Look at this high pivot, this low area right here. We can clearly see it hovering right here. It should get a quick bounce off of this level. But again, if we look at this, broke out, 1, 2, 3. So yes, a quick bounce, but then I think it actually goes lower. So just be aware, a lot of these charts, if we're talking about buying, they're short-term trades. Here's another one. This is actually one of my favorites I'll be watching today. Alphabet at 151 to 149, gap fill, pivot low, double bottom. Again, 3 bars down in a row. Today will be number 4. If it gets below 151 into the 150 range, I'm going to start nibbling on a swing trade here. This should be a good bounce level for probably, I think, 8 to 10% in a matter of potentially a week or two. All right, let's flip over to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin, again, we can take a look. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out here again, guys. So let's go back to the big board. Follow me over to the big board here. Okay. And what we can look at is you basically have a chart where, and I want to show you this again, right? So if we look at this, here's your double top going back, or your high pivot going back to March of 2020, right? So let's just say this is a 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, small check back, breakout. You see that? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how 4 is just a small check back. That's very common. The fourth is 50-50. So a lot of times you just get the small pullback and then the breakout. So I just wanted to show you guys again how this continues to play out. And by the way, you can almost make a case for that right in here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, breakdown, right? So again, it just over and over replicates. It's very cool. You guys start getting your trend lines down. You could really make a lot of sense of the market.
Digital assets research firm 10x Research forecasts that Bitcoin might slip below $80,000 this week, amid rising inflation concerns and uncertainty over U.S. tariffs. Hotter than expected U.S. core personal consumption expenditures data suggests inflation remains a pressing issue, while shifting rhetoric from former President Donald Trump on tariffs further heightens market anxiety. With these risk factors in mind, investors are cautious as the broader financial markets face potential strain. Additionally, the upcoming U.S. ISM manufacturing PMI could trigger even more downside if its numbers disappoint, intensifying risk aversion and affecting the cryptocurrency market. Strong employment data might delay any much-needed intervention by the Federal Reserve, reducing the likelihood of a quick market rebound. Although market volatility appears subdued, as indicated by low VIX levels, Bitcoin's recent rally seems fragile. Persistent macroeconomic pressures may push Bitcoin further downward, leaving traders bracing for additional declines. Investors should closely monitor these unfolding market developments.
And by the way, it doesn't mean that something can't bounce on the fifth hit or the sixth hit, though there's always outliers, right? That's what probability is all about. It says, okay, it works 70 or 80% of the time, but that's 20 to 30% of the time that it doesn't work. Okay, in any case, we had this downsloping trend line, this upsloping. We talked about this little wedge pattern forming. We obviously know the breakdown occurred. We are now below this level. It continues to make me think, and I've been steadfast on this, is that, listen, we're stuck between this level and this area right down here. And inevitably, support needs to be tested, all right? It's just, again, it's a probability base, but I would say about 80% of the time when you're hovering between two levels, even if you're going to eventually go higher, technically speaking, resistance got tested here, you didn't test support, it's going to want to come in here, and then maybe it can go like that, but it needs to kind of find the floor. It's got to have its feet on the floor before it can jump up again, and that's the thought process behind that level. So I'm still in the camp that Bitcoin goes back to about the 74, 72, maybe even 70,000 level. As of now, would I be nibbling there? I might be nibbling there, but again, I think the key here is you got to watch the stock market. And again, I've said this from the very beginning, and in fact, even a year ago when we were watching, or last year when we were watching Bitcoin rally up, I said, guys, as long as the stock market keeps making new all-time highs, Bitcoin can go up. Notice, basically, this is the stock market made its all-time high in December and in basically January, February, and then here's the Bitcoin chart, right? And it comes down with the stock market. The only difference is the stock market's only down, 10%? Bitcoin on the, here is down basically 20. So you have to figure out that if the S&P drops, let's say another 10 or 15%, that could be 20 to 30% further downside on Bitcoin. Again, does it eventually mature into a digital gold, a safe haven? I think it does eventually. It's not at that point in its maturity phase yet as an asset.
Michael Saylor's company recently rebranded a strategy, made a significant move by acquiring 22,048 Bitcoin for about $1.9 billion between March 24 and 30. The purchase was executed at an average price of approximately $86,969 per coin. This bold acquisition follows a hint from Saylor himself, and it has increased Strategy's total Bitcoin holdings to over 528,000 coins, solidifying its status as the world's largest corporate Bitcoin holder. To finance the acquisition, Strategy tapped into its treasury by selling 3,645,528 shares of its Class A common stock, generating roughly $1.2 billion in net proceeds. The company also sold 213,807 shares of its Series A perpetual strike preferred stock for $18.52 million and completed an offering of 8.5 million shares of its Series A perpetual strike preferred stock, expected to bring in an estimated $711 million. With $2.3 billion in MSTR shares still available for sale, Strategy continues to navigate market fluctuations with confidence. Despite the impressive move, Strategy shares closed down nearly 11% on Friday and were trading around $277 in Monday's pre-market session. Meanwhile, Bitcoin itself is trading around $82,100, down 4.5% over the past week. This acquisition not only boosts Strategy's crypto portfolio, but also demonstrates its ability to capitalize on market opportunities, setting a bold example for corporate investment in digital assets. Investors are watching closely as Strategy leverages its financial strategies to secure a leading position in the evolving crypto landscape. This acquisition reinforces the company's long-term commitment and visionary approach to digital asset investment. Remarkable. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.